Let's try this one more time. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. It's going to be an amazing day. It's going to be an amazing day. Good morning. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy Specialist. What better place to be than here with me? Hope you guys are ready to get this morning started. It has been a good morning. If you missed the Tracy V. Allen Show Morning Tea, please go back and catch the replay of that. We just finished, and we had a great time. So make sure that you go and catch that replay. So that's that show, y'all. I was up bright and early. The show started at 6. So we did a live show this morning. It's called the Tracy V. Allen Show, and it's the morning tea. So make sure you catch the replay of that. It is on my page so that you can catch that. So we've been up and at it early this morning. Good morning, happy Mother's Day to everyone. I hope you guys had an amazing Mother's Day. I hope that you were blessed by your family. How about that? So welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy Specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Oh, thank you, Gina. I decided to do something different. This will not last long. So it will not last, but we're going to try. We're trying something different. It's grown. In February, y'all, I cut my hair to here. It wasn't even this long in February. So, it has grown a little bit. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the show last week. Please make sure you share it, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Excuse me. Don't forget, we do have podcasts. Wherever podcasts are listened to, and that is the Fearless Morning Show on all podcasts. So go check that out. Let's get right into the quote of the day. I like this one. I don't know why Stephen King, this is the second quote I had from him, but it just popped up and it's good. The quote of the day: you can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. That's Stephen King. You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. And that is by Stephen King. Excuse me. So I love that quote, because essentially he's saying the same thing I say. You got to start somewhere, right? So if you can, you should, and you will. So great morning, Miss Valerie. Good morning. Miss Valerie got her, are you enjoying your watch this morning, Miss Valerie? Good morning. Good morning, Miss Moore. How you doing? I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. Y'all, the girls let me buy books. They gifted me. I spent $120 on books. So excited. And then I got a nice humidifier that I wanted. So I had a great Mother's Day. All right, so let's go. The quote of the day: you can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. And that is by Stephen King. I love that quote. So let's go right into, I'm doing good. I cannot complain. Let's go right into the thought of the day. And y'all know, if you've been with the morning show long enough or been my friend, I speak in movie titles and songs. You can't handle the truth. Y'all remember that movie? So that's the thought of the day. You can't handle the truth. You cannot. So let's talk about that. On this journey, like we always say, at some point in time, and preferably in the beginning, because this is what's going to help start your journey. You're already thinking different, and you're like, what if? And you, excuse me, and you're doing all of that. But and I'm looking at my sticky note. This is what you've got to understand. That's why I say you can't handle the truth. You have got to get into the habit of demanding the truth from yourself. This will be an ongoing step. It will never go away. You've got to get into the habit of demanding the truth for yourself. Now, what does that mean? That means, JoJo, that if you are not truthful with you, you cannot expect anybody else to be truthful to you. You cannot expect to continue this journey without a lot of bumps and humps. It just won't. It's not going to happen. Because what happens with any life change, whatever you do, whatever religion you subscribe to, whatever you hope to do in this life, it all begins with you defining the truth for yourself. And you have got to demand it of you at all times. Because at all times, your character is going to come into play on the next move you make on your road to your destiny. It doesn't get any simpler than that. So you've got to get into the habit of demanding the truth for yourself. And so in the beginning, y'all, what is not is a cakewalk. And even now, it ain't easy, but I can get through it. I can check myself, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're checking yourself. Like, Jojo, why do you really, we talked about intentions. Why do you really want to do that? And when you get into your intentions, that's when you got to demand the truth from yourself. Because if you say, this is my life statement, right? Because we talk about life statement. This is going to be my life statement. It is going to require that your character and your truth align. If your character and your truth align, your life statement is going to be wishy-washy. It will not stand. It's going to be, y'all, we talked about, did y'all plant y'all seeds of intention? Or what ground are you planting it on? Are you the seed on the shelf expecting to bloom? Or did you take the time to cultivate? Remember we talked Friday, you are a seed. Did you water yourself with positivity? Did you give yourself some sunshine? What are you doing with that? But your character and your truth have got to align, or nothing is going to come to fruition. You will never reap the harvest. Because in the seeding part, where you're growing part, you're doing work. But in the harvest part is where the harder work comes in. Because now you establish your roots and your foundation, and you're reaping the rewards. That's the hard work. Because if your truth and your character not aligned, boo, you will not continue to see a reward. It will continue to die off, and you'll be in a quandrum as to why. So I say that you can't handle the truth because some of us never want to take that step to talk about the truth. Jojo, you married that man because such and such and this. Well, Jojo, you really took that job so that you could say you for the title. Well, Jojo, you really had you friends with her not because you like her, but because you like what she can do. Until you're ready to have them kind of truth conversations, you will continue to have, that's not the right word I was going to say. You're going to continue to have smaller conversations that don't serve you. I was going to say petty conversations, but they're not petty because they're extremely important to your growth. Now, they're important to your growth to stay the same, or they're important to your growth for you to dig deeper and continue to see the fruit of your labor. But your truth and your character have got to align. So until you get into the habit of demanding the truth from yourself, your crazy is going to continue. And here's why it's difficult, because we don't want to admit that perhaps this ain't working. Or perhaps we participated 100% wholeheartedly in all of this. And if I admit that, God, leave JoJo. If I admit that, dog, I'm going to have to admit a whole lot of other things. I lied about that. I told a tale about that. That ain't true. And, I told mom and them, and that wasn't true. And I told my man this, that wasn't true. So if you do not get into the habit of demanding the truth from yourself, then you can't hold anybody else accountable for not bringing you the truth, number one. Because if you can't even bring it to yourself, can't nobody else bring it to you, number one. But number two, you'll continue to create your cage of crazy. You'll create it, you'll decorate it, and then you'll be sitting there looking like, man, this is crazy. A tangle where we weave when at first we set out to deceive. And until we get to the point where we demand the truth from ourselves at all times, and your truth is your character, and they must align, because that's what's going to get you from one end to the other. Your truth may be that you don't like this situation. And here's the hard part. Here is growth. When the situation is hard, but it's not horrible, meaning it's not a horrible person. It's not detrimental, like it's not catastrophic, but it's bad to the point where it doesn't serve you. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You really don't want to leave the job because you like the people, but it's still not serving you. And so the growth comes in that I am sacrificing the essential part of me for what? What is the outcome of your sacrifice? And why are you sacrificing? And what is it serving to you? And if you can get truthful with that statement, like, yeah, I'm just really not making this, I'm really not having this conversation because I don't want to deal, they not a bad person. She not a bad girl. She my friend and all. And, we've been friends for 30 years. And see, I like her, but she got a slick mouth. I like her, but she be downgrading me sometimes. I like her, but she ain't never got time for me unless I'm checking for her first. And some of us, we don't want to have that truth conversation because then we may come to a reality that we're not ready to face. But on this journey, in the beginning and throughout, because this is an ongoing process, you have got to get into the habit of demanding the truth from yourself. And some of us, we can't handle the truth. That's why it's hard for us to change the situation. That's why we have the rigmarole of justifying why we do what we do instead of telling the truth. I did it because I like it. Yeah. Why didn't you do it? Because I didn't want to. Oh, okay. You don't have to. I want you to justify your actions and verify them with yourself. You ain't got to do it with me. But I'm just telling you, somewhere along this journey, either because we're doing day ones, right? Either today, tomorrow, at a while, in the next 30 minutes, you got to realize, are you going to be able to handle the truth? And you've got to get in the habit of demanding the truth for yourself. And here's what happens when you begin to do that. You will make different decisions quicker. They won't be as hard because you'll be like, what's the truth of this though? Like, for real, why am I doing this thing? And then you can answer it quickly and you can make a better decision. Because if you go in with it with a preconceived notion, idea, or thought, or it doesn't line up 100% and you don't really feel good about it, you just going with it. I guess I'll be her friend, I don't know. Well, I guess I can still date you. I got some reserves about this, but maybe we can work it out. When you get into the habit of demanding the truth for yourself, and your truth and character must align, then when that conversation comes up, you're like, oh, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. And it's easier. But that is an ongoing job. It never goes away. It is an ongoing thought process because everywhere you go and in everything that you do, you're making decisions, right? You are deciding, is this true to you or if it's not? Every morning, every day, every relationship, every friendship, every job. Is it true to who you are? Is it lining up with your truth? Some of us are working in jobs that it goes against our whole character. And we wonder why we're not settled. So you got to have that conversation with yourself. You can't handle the truth. What movie was that in? Can somebody tell me? You can't handle the truth. I can see the guy's face who said it, but I don't know what the movie is. You've got to get in the habit of demanding the truth from yourself. This will be an ongoing step. We're doing day ones here. So we are talking to ourselves and saying, hey, Joe, what is the true statement about this situation? What is the true realistic idea of what? Because some of us, we already know. We can look at the situation and know already what's fixing to happen. We know. I'm just saying. But we don't want to handle the truth of us first to get to that. Because I'm gonna wait and see what we waiting on, what we gonna see. You already know the answer. Guilty. Judge, you already know the answer. You do? Yeah, I know. I know this is about to crash and burn. I got that. But guess what? I'm going to wait and see if this boat really going to crash and burn with me and everything on it. So I want you to look at the bigger ramifications. You may be making a small decision here that you know doesn't line up to your truth and character. But what's the bigger picture of it down here? Because down here, it's affected your kids. Because now your kids are 6 years in with the person, place, a thing, situation, friendship. And they don't know why you crying. You trying to explain well. And they looking at you like, but why didn't you stop it? Well, I couldn't because you've got to get in the habit of demanding the truth from yourself. You knew she wasn't your friend. My mother has told me for years, JoJo, she not your friend. Yes, she is. And fight my mama tooth and nail. But now that I have children and I can say, she not your friend, I understand what my mother said. But I couldn't handle the truth. It took me 20-some years to be able to handle that truth. Don't be like JoJo. Start today. Demand the truth of yourself. Get into the habit of demanding it. JoJo, you know this not fixing to work. Yeah. So what you going to do about it? What I'm not fixing to do is waiting and seeing. Why country people, why we say that? Because in good old Forest City, we say, I'm just going to wait and see. Good morning, Lisa. What are we waiting and seeing for? If we know the answer, right? Because we know it. We don't want to deal with the ramifications of it. So you've got to get in the habit of demanding the truth from yourself. I cannot get upset when someone brings me less than the truth if I'm not truthful. Because my truth and character got to align. I can't get mad at them when they bring me a non-truth. Because they see I ain't even being true to myself. They can see that. So, you ain't being true to yourself, so maybe she can take this. Maybe she'll accept this piece of the pie. Here you go. Maybe you'll accept this portion of my friendship. I see she ain't really living true to her calling, so I'm going to offer her less than on this job. No, I ain't going to give her the title. Maybe I'll give her the title, not the money. Or maybe I'll give her half and half. When you can get in the habit of checking yourself, demanding the truth from you, it's easier to walk it out and it will present before you do. Let me give you an example. How many of us know what you're not fixing to do is go ask your mama? First of all, you're not fixing to go call her by her name. You're not fixing to call her Sophronia because you're going to get knocked down to the ground, right? You're not fixing to go sit on her bed because once she made it, that's a no-no. You're not fixing to go in her room because children are not allowed in the room, right? So there are a lot of things that people that are true for them that they have set up that you never question at all. You don't question it because it's their truth, and their truth and character have aligned. But when your truth, you don't demand the truth of yourself, people will bring you half behind stuff and say, oh, but look, accept it. At least I put it on this for you, but it's not true to who you are. So if you're not demanding the truth from yourself, when somebody gives you a half truth, can you get angry with them? Because when you are true to yourself and all that's lined up, it's going to speak, and they're going to realize they can't bring that. Your friend is going to realize that's not going to work. Your job is going to realize they can't do that. Your relationship is going to be like, let me bring more. Because I'm asking for all things here. I'm not coming off of this. If I give my all, I didn't negotiate giving my all, so I'm not going to negotiate receiving all. That's so far out my realm of understanding, because I don't understand that. Because if you demand this of JoJo and she gives this, I expect that as well. So what I'm asking for is what I'm willing to give. Some of us never get to that part because we can't handle the truth of ourselves. We can't handle the truth of our situation. We can't handle the truth of what is going on. And until you get in the habit of demanding the truth from yourself, I ain't going to say it's not hard in the beginning, but it gets easier, and it is an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing job. It's an ongoing step. But it makes your decision-making process better. You make better decisions that way. Because if you don't know your truth, if you don't understand it, step one to live past crazy is to be quiet. I suggest you give yourself a few minutes every day and realize, what is a truth for you? What can somebody bring to JoJo and it's okay? Oh, that they can't bring that? I need to make sure I start walking that out. Oh, they can't do that? I need to make sure that I'm walking that out, or I'm presenting that. People bring exactly what they see, or they bring what they assume that you will accept until you make it known. So on this wonderful Monday, the quote of the day, you can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. That's by Stephen King. You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. This is our day one. We're doing day ones here, not one day, right? We are demanding the truth from ourselves. Can you handle the truth of you? And I would tell you, confessions and conversations, that was an ugly place for me to be, to handle my truth. Because I had to look at why relationships started, why relationships ended, why friendships didn't work, why I stayed at jobs. Like, I had to go through the whole gamut. And in some of it, it hurt my feelings. I was ashamed and embarrassed of the things that I had done, or the actions I had taken, right? But that was my truth at that moment. So what do you do once you understand that? You've got to grant yourself some grace, okay? You made a bad decision. And then, boo, you got to be a responsible adult. You made a bad decision. And sometimes that bad decision came with consequences and ramifications that you never imagined. And you have got to be understanding that you made that truth happen. Can't change it, but you can move forward from it. So you got to give yourself some grace. You got to forgive yourself because you made that crazy decision. Grace and forgiveness, okay? And then understand that the ramifications, they are what they are. Some things that you've done or in your truth, it may have hurt someone, it may have broken a friendship, or it may have broken things. And you got to be okay with possibility that it may never heal. But when you understand that you, in all of that you are checking yourself with your truth and your character, and it is now a building block that's going to catapult you to where you want to be, you learn from that. You don't allow it to hold you hostage. You be like, JoJo, I really messed up on that. Yeah, you did, girl. I'm sorry. You know what? I forgive you, girl. So you're twice armed now because you have experience and knowledge. So the next time you will make a better and more informed decision. You can't handle the truth if you keep making the same decisions. So I want you to get into the habit of demanding the truth from yourself. Demand the truth from yourself. This is an ongoing step. And when you do that, people are going to recognize it. And they're going to realize that if you're asking for all things here, they better bring all things here. We're not renegotiating our contract down. We're not taking no percentages off our contract. Period. So on this wonderful Monday, I hope you guys had an amazing Mother's Day for all the mothers out there, and for all the fathers who are raising children. I hope you had an amazing day as well. I want you guys to be peaceful today, but I want you to begin this journey with understanding. So there's a lot of firsts that happen on this journey. You're thinking differently, okay? But you've got to get to the understanding of that truth, the truth of yourself. If you don't, if the bare minimum, you don't start with that, you won't stay on it. That's how, y'all, that's how you can talk yourself out of working out every day. That's how you can talk yourself into eating at McDonald's. And that's how you can talk yourself into, well, if I'm just going to have this when I'm going to work out tomorrow. What is the truth? And it's aligning up with your character. And are you demanding the truth from yourself? And can you handle it? The truth is, JoJo, you stop working out. So that's why you gain. That's the truth. That's why you gain the weight. Oh, okay. Well, you know, you slacked on this and this is why you had this happening. Oh, okay. So you got to check yourself, boo, first. And you can't get mad if you have, like I have purpose partners that don't mind checking me. JoJo, that don't make no bit of sense. You hear me? That don't make no sense. Oh, it don't? Why not? Because you've got to validate that with me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let me go check myself. You got to get in the habit of demanding the truth from yourself. And if you don't get in the habit of that, boo, there's going to be a lot of things that's like this going forward. Why you keep dating the same person? Girl, let me tell you why. Are you demanding the truth from yourself? What are you presenting? What are you? And please understand, grown folk talk. What are we? I can negotiate as long as we on the same path. Okay, I can work with you. I'm talking about when people take advantage. Right? Good morning. So let's demand the truth of ourselves. And when you start to do that, people are going to respect it. Remember, we talked about new rules to the new you? That it's all in there. It's that part. Because you figuring the truth out for yourself. That's why step one to live past crazy is to be quiet. You can't walk it out, talk it out, and you don't understand it yet. You're trying to figure out the truth of you, forgive yourself, grant yourself some grace. Then you're dealing with the shame that you made the same stupid decision again. You're dealing with all of that. And then you got to hear, I told you so from the friends and the family. You got all of that going on. That's why you got to be quiet, because that's a lot to deal with. Girl, that's a lot. And in dealing with all that, you got to grant yourself some grace and some peace and some love and some forgiveness, so that when you stand flat-footed, chest out, head back, chin up, and this is my truth. Oh, okay. Because now you can articulate it. Now you understand it for what it is for yourself. Now your truth and your character are aligned. Now you can walk it out. Now it's easier. So now it's easier for me to check myself and my truth. Jojo, now, because it can happen with the smallest of things. Oh, Jojo, you want to do this book. Is that true? Is the reason why you want to do this really true? Oh, no, girl. that ain't true. Oh, so is you going to fix that, girl? Yeah, let me go ahead and fix that. It will save you from making insane decisions over and over again. But you got to be willing to handle the truth first. I had to handle the truth for a lot of things that I did not want to. That's part of growth. I had to admit that I tore up some friendships. Oh, Lord. I tore up some relationships. Jesus, help me. I tore up some jobs. What? Because JoJo wasn't ready to handle the truth. And my intention and my intent were totally different than what I said. But I'm going to get mad at everybody else because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. So on this wonderful, absolutely wonderful Monday, the quote of the day, you can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. And that's by Stephen King. And the thought of the day, you can't handle the truth. Y'all, what movie is that from? You have got to get into the habit of demanding the truth from yourself and then know that it's an ongoing step. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The easier it absolutely becomes. That I can promise you. But step one is you got to be quiet so that you can even understand what your truth is. Because if you don't even know what it is, you're going to have a hard time communicating that to somebody else. You're going to have a hard time holding them to a standard you can't hold yourself to. Okay? So that's where you're going to be. So on this wonderful Monday, I love that quote, but this one keeps staring me in my face. And y'all know I love this quote because y'all done heard it several times in the past month. I've learned never to close my mind to any idea simply because it's miraculous. You demanding the truth of yourself is a miraculous idea. It is going to set you on a path that you never knew that you needed. It is going to allow you the freedom that you didn't even know you was restricted until you start living that truth. You're not going to realize how constrained you were, how many self-imposed restrictions you had, how many other people's lives and titles you were carrying until you open your mind up to the miraculous thought and idea that if you hold yourself accountable and demand the truth from yourself, you can be set free on a journey that is yours and that no one else can take away from you. Now you may be on a journey that you don't quite understand because you got everybody, it's a mixing pot of everybody's thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. But when you begin to understand your truth for what it is for yourself, and it aligns with your character and the journey becomes your own, then, then the freedom comes. Then the peace comes. I promise. I've learned never to close my mind to any idea simply because it's miraculous. And this is your miraculous idea today. Hold yourself accountable. Demand the truth from yourself. Because this is day one. Because if you keep saying one day, one day will come after you dead. This is day one. Tomorrow can be day 2 of day 1. Day 3 of day 1. The point is that you started. You can, you should, and if you're brave enough, you'll start. Stephen King. So on this wonderful Monday, hope you've enjoyed the show. Please make sure you share it because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. All right, guys, so a couple of things. I just finished the Tracy Allen morning tea, so if you missed that, you can go catch the replay on there. Coming up on this Thursday, we're going to go with the 5 steps to live past crazy. To sign up, it's bit.ly/5pass, the number 5 and the word pass all together, so you can sign up. And because this is May is Mental Health Month, and I'm going to talk about my journey through depression and postpartum and some steps that I took to get past that, because I promise I'm not a counselor. I'm not giving counseling advice. I'm giving life advice that you can hopefully use that's going to help you. I'm a fan of counseling. Help yourself, knock yourself out. Okay, and so I'll be discussing that and how I implemented those 5 steps to live past crazy to help me get started on my journey. bit.ly/5pass. So make sure you do that. I will be starting a new series of the Gangsta Care. But if you would like to catch up with us, right? So I'll be starting a new one at the end of this month. If you want to catch up, bit.ly/Gangsta Care. And that's a 5-day guided journey where you will get an email every morning bright and early. And it will have your prompts and information so that you can begin this journey for yourself. So, because we're doing day 1s and not one day. May 17th will be my first international speaking engagement. It will be here on Facebook. I will be posting the link for that so you can register if you would like to join me with that as well. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you would like for me to speak at your event or on your show and podcast, please go to bit.ly/WaddellSpeaks and fill out your entry form, the information form there, and I promise we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I hope you have an amazing Monday, okay? You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. That's by Stephen King. The thought of the day, you can't handle the truth. You've got to get in the habit of demanding the truth from yourself, and this is an ongoing step. I guarantee it's an ongoing step. All in growth, okay? Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to YouTube. We do have a podcast, the Live Past Crazy Show. Wherever podcasts are found, that's where you can find the podcast. All right, it's Mental Health Month. So if you want to know where my crazy started, book 1, Fearless Woman Born to Give Thanks. Y'all, this year, 3-4 years ago, book 2 came out, Transition to Freedom. So you can go to Amazon and grab Fearless Woman Born to Give Thanks and or Transition to Freedom. They're both on sale right now. So you can understand more about why I am the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And remember, you are your sister's keeper. And y'all know if we can help one sister who can think just for today, just for this second, if she could open her mind to the miraculous idea that she is amazing, that she can change her family, who will then change the community, and we will change the world. It is that simple. We ain't got to make it complicated. One sister at a time. One. So if you that sister today, take something that you need. If there was nothing here that you needed, leave it for someone else or share it with someone else. I cannot do this by myself, but I will do it one sister at a time. So if you have an amazing day, I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. And I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. But please make sure you join me this week. It's going to be on Thursday. bit.ly/5pass to sign up for the 5 steps to live past crazy. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.